Hi, I'm Kristi Blankenship, aka Miss KB. This is my classroom online, and I'm here to talk about my professional dispositions as an educator. So for question number one, what makes me a successful educator is I'm able to identify my students' strengths and weaknesses. I understand my students have unique interests and abilities outside of school, and I try to get to know what those are. I understand and embrace that my students have a different culture than mine, and I embrace that. I also understand that we all have learning differences, and I also embrace those diversities. Fairness. I'm pretty fair. I build positive and trusting relationships with my students. I understand that we all have unique perspectives and challenges. I also want to help them build their problem-solving skills in a non-biased way. Knowing they have the ability to learn and grow is another one of my dispositions that make me a successful teacher. I also regard my students and the colleagues I work with kindness and respect. Curiosity. I encourage teamwork and collaboration. It's a little bit harder with the pandemic, but that is big. And I do try to listen regularly and try to find out what's going on in my students' lives and find out, what their hobbies and interests are in order to build those connections. I also take special interest when my students don't seem to be themselves, like if they're acting a little sadder than usual. I always check in on them and things like that. I'm also a huge advocate for my students. As a special education teacher, I really have to be, but I really want to look at their academic and their personal self-worth, the issues and challenges they face on the regular basis. So those are some big things. I also have a really positive attitude most of the time. Some of the things I feel like I need to work on. Question number two, changing my plans in real time. That's an issue for me. I'm a bit of a type A planner, and just changing things up is a really hard thing for me. I'm like a consistent, follow the agenda type of teacher, and I have a really hard time with changing it up. I also have a hard time with students helping me plan and input, even though I do feel like that would be a great opportunity for them to own it a bit more. So I need to work on that. Sometimes I do minimize inappropriate behaviors. I also need to become more involved in professional learning communities within my school district. Also reflecting daily. I'm not sure that I do that. I'm not sure that I reflect daily. I know that I reflect often, but maybe not that often. I also feel like I do need to help my students think more critically, and I need to be better about being consistent about greeting my students daily. I do greet them, and I do have a positive attitude, maybe just not daily as much. So for the last question, question number three, what does a professional educator look like and how do they behave? So in my opinion, a professional educator is a superhero without a costume. They stand tall with strength, integrity, and the desire to make a positive change beyond the norm. They face challenges, and sometimes that are too much for them to handle in one battle. They must reflect on best practice to ensure better future outcomes. They do not give up when the going gets tough. However, they may need a break and time to heal and reflect. They strive to ensure that justice is being done for their students and they help their students to learn how to become superheroes themselves. Professional educators do this by leading by example. Their biggest superpower is the power of consistent acts of caring beyond academics. They have knowledge of and compassion for each student's unique needs, strengths, weaknesses, interests, and individual circumstances. These professional educator superheroes have the ability to engage their students in ways that build self-worth and curiosity about what they're learning. Thank you.